I'm Maheshika Halbison, and this is the Queen Elizabeth Leadership Podcast, the show where we discuss the leadership lessons from the book, The Job Well Done, The Queen's Way to Successful Leadership.
Welcome back to the deep dive.
Ever feel like you're juggling chainsaws, trying to keep work and life, balanced?
Tell me about it.
Turns out, even royalty, they aren't immune.
Wait, really?
Yeah. We're diving into The Job Well Done, that book about Queen Elizabeth's leadership style.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of it.
Totally changed how I see her. She was basically like the original work-life balance queen.
See, that's what I loved about that book. You think queen, you think no time for yourself, right? But she managed it all. Crazy schedule. But she made time for what mattered. Her horses, family, even made sure those corgis got their playtime in.
Speaking of that schedule, 18 months, planned out, 18 months in advance.
Insane, right? Down to the minute, the book said. But here's the thing, within all that, she'd have time blocked off for herself. Like, they could reschedule official stuff if family time was in the way, and she had it set so she could go inspect the newest foals at her stud farms. Like, it was important to her.
Hold on, foal inspection? That was an actual entry on her calendar, 18 months out. That's dedication.
Exactly. It's about priorities. That's a lesson for all of us, right? She had help, sure, but the book also said she was super clear about what she needed, when, and that helped a lot.
Can't forget about Prince Philip either. You can tell from the book he was a big part of how she found that balance.
Oh, absolutely. They had this deep respect for each other, obviously, but they were also honest, like brutally honest, even about clothes. The book said he was the only one who'd tell her if an outfit was a total disaster. Ha ha.
Right. Wore the trousers
Yeah.
at Buckingham Palace when it came to certain things, apparently. But beyond the fun stuff, it's clear he was her rock, someone she could truly be herself with.
And I think that's so important. We forget, even if you're super successful, you need that. Someone to talk to who gets you, who challenges you, makes all the difference. We talk about work-life balance like it's just us against the world, but having a good support system, huge. Partner, family, friends, whoever, it matters.
It seems like she and Prince Philip, they made sure to get that time together, busy as they were. Remember that bit about their thing at Balmoral?
Every September, prime minister's invited up, right? And they handle everything, the cooking, hosting, the works.
Imagine the Queen making you dinner.
Talk about intimidating. But I think it shows how much they valued just being normal, stepping away from all the royal duties, just enjoying being together. And when he passed, there's that quote from her that gets me every time. She said, and I'm paraphrasing here, but basically, that his eyes still had that same twinkle she fell in love with. It's like proof, that all that stuff, the personal life, the love, it's not separate from success. It's part of it.
It's amazing, isn't it, how much their connection, fueled everything else she did. And, something else really stuck with me from the book. It wasn't just having a partner. It was the hobbies, too.
Totally. The book dives right into that, it's pushing back against that whole work till you drop thing everyone seems to think is so great. The Queen, she was disciplined, no doubt, but she also got it. That taking time for what you love, horses, dogs, even just messing around with a camera, that's not wasting time. That's like recharging.
And for someone who could have literally anything, her hobbies were pretty normal. Although the horses, that was clearly huge for her.
Yeah.
In the book, they talk about how her grandfather, he'd take her to see the best horses at Sandringham when she was little, instilled it in her.
Yeah, and she never let go of that. Remember that part where they said she wouldn't wear a helmet riding?
Oh, yeah. Always the headscarf, though.
Exactly. Shows you don't have to give up what you love, even when life gets nuts.
Yeah.
And look, it wasn't just one hobby either, right? Horses, sure. But gardening, photography, the corgis, obviously.
It's like diversifying how you recharge,
Yes, that's it. Exactly. She wasn't just checking boxes. She was feeding different parts of herself. And honestly, that's huge for anyone who wants better work-life balance. More than one way to unwind,
Like having a portfolio, but for fun.
Yeah.
Speaking of unexpected things, though, this is where the book went somewhere I did not see coming. It connects Queen Elizabeth's whole approach to work-life balance to Warren Buffett.
Right. Talk about a curveball. You wouldn't think, right? Queen and a billionaire investor. But that's what I loved about this book. These aren't just rich and famous tricks. They're universal.
And when you think about how Warren Buffett lives, it's kind of wild how much it lines up with what the Queen was doing. I mean, obviously, the guy's a machine when it comes to business.
Yeah.
But the book talks about how seriously he takes family time, how much he loves playing the ukulele, even bridge.
See, this is what gets me. People think success means being on all the time, but it's not. Buffett, just like the Queen, they prove that having fun, taking breaks, it's not slacking off. It's what lets you come back stronger.
And can we talk about how he's, like, famously not into showing off his money, still in the same house, drives a car that's probably older than I am?
Right. It's like they're both saying, forget the fancy stuff. The real win is a life that feels good.
And the best part is the book. It doesn't just tell these stories. It actually gives you advice,
Yeah.
like how to do this stuff ourselves.
That's the point, right? Not just, oh, the Queen, good for her, but actually using it.
Big one for me was boundaries. Like the Queen, she was serious about needing time to herself, not always on, made space for that, even as Queen.
So important, especially now, with everyone on their phones all the time. She shows us it's okay to set limits. Actually, it's more than okay. It's like essential. If you want to feel good, be productive, all that.
It's about, like, remembering we have a choice. We don't have to be glued to work emails or our to-do list. We can choose what really matters. Spending time with people we care about, doing stuff we love, or just quiet time even.
Yes. And they give you tips on how to do it too. One that stuck with me was being really clear about what you need. The Queen, she apparently told people exactly what was up. And hey, we may not all have assistants, but we can all try that, right?
Totally. Like telling work what's up, delegating if you can, even just being honest with your family about needing a break. That kind of honesty helps everyone in the end.
Because it's about you being in control too, right? You're not just like along for the ride. You get to decide how to spend your time and energy.
So wrapping up here, this whole dive into how Queen Elizabeth did it, work-life balance, pretty clear message. You can have both. Responsibilities and things you're passionate about.
For sure. She proved it, crown and all. And hey, even Warren Buffett with his ukulele, right?
Yeah.
It's possible.
And the best part, you don't need to be royalty or whatever. It starts with deciding you matter, setting those boundaries, and making a little time for what makes you happy. So think about it. What's your full inspection? What one thing can you fit in, even just for a few minutes, that'll remind you life's about more than just getting through the day?
Are you ready to elevate your leadership to new heights? Learn from the Queen? Follow us on this podcast and get your copy, The Job Well Done, The Queen's Way to Successful Leadership. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Just search Maheshika Halbison and tell me how the Queen has inspired you.